In Autologie we have observed and discovered a level of understanding and learning that we call mastery condition. Mastery means the total learning, communication, and control of a subject and/or ability both at a theoretical and practical level, and the subsequent condition is called certainty, which will be explained in the next chapter. So we've decided to dedicate a whole chapter explaining this condition, since it is a vital goal for anyone who is studying Autologie. We approach a subject of study with a, quote, "I am the researcher" attitude, unquote. In order to get the most of it, and to maintain a logical or rational approach towards the interested subject, instead of memorizing words, and not question the subject studied approach used in most of cases in our current educational system. An advanced Autologie student should be in a mastery condition for what concerns life, existence, and its mechanics. This is one of the main goals of our study. We advocate that knowledge is something that must be passed on from men to men, otherwise, it becomes entirely selfishly pointless, and social progress on a wider planetary scale cannot take place. Unlike many others, we intend to increase ordinary men's knowledge of life mechanics to help him rise and shine, not to keep knowledge for ourselves in a selfish fashion. As analyzed before, knowing a subject is not enough. We must make it our own and apply it at will. But the real test of knowledge and mastered ability is how much we can pass to others what we know. An advanced Autologie student would be able to perfectly convey the knowledge of Autologie without having to always refer to this book. It would be easy for him. Obviously here we are considering that the student has the right attitude towards study and knowledge, mentioned in the previous chapter, otherwise not even the most capable individual of this universe would be able to pass on his knowledge to those who do not want to know, learn and/or study. A competent Autologie student should, therefore, be able to convey Autologie to perfection, and the same applies to any other subject of study or ability. Anyone who practices anything, be it a profession as the doctor or religion as Buddhism, or maybe only a simple activity like preparing a dish, if that person is not able to teach and convey this activity to perfection, this clearly indicates that not even that individual has a total competence regarding what he is doing, cause we consider the ability to teach and convey a specific ability the only proof that someone has mastered it. So here we are trying to clarify clearly this concept. Simply knowing how to do something well and reaching a mastery condition toward something are two different concepts. Sometimes those who develop an ability up to a certain level could set up a barrier in its development, which can be a simple, quote, "I'm fine with that, there's nothing else to improve, and I don't care to improve beyond this level," unquote. So, for example, a chef who prepares the same dessert always in the same way, surely he will be good and able in its ability to prepare that dessert, but he won't be able to reinvent himself or improve his ability in doing so. Naturally, we are considering activities and abilities that can be improved. If we have reached the maximum level on something, then there is nothing left to improve. We would end up perhaps in making a mess trying to improve what is already perfect, which is the action that explains why people make perfect things fail all of a sudden. This means that once we have reached the maximum of knowledge about a subject, we can teach it in the best possible way, or at least focus completely on the ability to be able to teach it. If a person did not reach the maximum of knowledge and technique of what he is doing, naturally he would not be able to teach and pass on that subject, that is because he too has not completely embraced the subject. This is the attitude and level of precision required in Autologie learning and especially teaching. This is our educational method and goal. Once you have learned something, share it, and be sure it is duplicated in the best possible way. At that point, you can really say that you have reached the condition of mastery towards the subject studied and applied. It is an ambitious condition, and on many fields, you will be the one to decide whether it is necessary or not, but keep in mind that to reach the maximum is indispensable that condition of mastery followed by certainty, the condition where you consider to be 100% sure to be able to cause at will what you know. You will be more assured than ever about any subject in which you have reached that desirable condition. As for what regards the subject of how to study, we've already said everything that was needed to be said in the previous chapter. Try to master and apply well the information contained in these chapters, and especially make sure that you can pass on this knowledge to your other fellow men, to be sure that you have reached a condition of certainty and mastery regarding the attitude of a true student who really learns, and not an ordinary student who copy and paste data as it happens in most schools, sadly.